Hi, fifth grade. Here is a tutorial or a quick video screencast of everything you need to do to complete your fifth grade holiday song project or your Disney song project, depending on what you're doing. I'm going to move pretty fast, but you will have control of this video, so if you need to rewind it, rewatch something, forward ahead because you already know some parts, you can do that. So I'm going to take it from beginning to end, almost, but you have video control so you can just watch the parts you want. First thing I asked you to do is go to page layout margins and make your margins narrow so you had more room on the page. Then it was a toggle over to Google thing. I asked you to look for song lyrics for your favorite holiday or Disney song. Use the word lyrics to zero in on the lyrics. You can use any that you find in your web search. I think that I will use these first ones here. You just highlight those or select those, right click and copy. Toggle back to Word, right click and paste. If you paste like this and you can see that there's a gray box, sometimes it brings sort of an invisible or a big old text box behind it. You don't want that. That will cover up your picture eventually. So use this paste option, which pastes plain text. All right, you have all your words. Remember, they have to fit on one page. You will want to make those at some point back on your home tab. Make them bold, center them. You can change the font, you can change the size, but they'll have to show up in front of the picture that you're going to put on there next. Next step, click off the words. Click right after the end of the last word and hit enter several times until it takes you down to a second page. You should only have 2 pages now. On this page, toggle back to Google Chrome or Google Internet Explorer. This time you want a picture that goes with the lyrics. So you want to click on Google Images for this because it'll just give you images. Remember, we talked about wanting a vertical picture rather than a horizontal, or a portrait image rather than a landscape, because we're using the page in portrait format. So I'll grab this guy right here. No, I'm not. I'll grab, this guy right here. Okay. You're going to get your image, right click, again, copy image, not image URL, hop back to Word, and on your second page, go ahead and right click, paste him in there. Okay. So now you have your picture or your image on the second page and your words on the first page. You need to get the picture behind the words, right? So click on your image. As soon as you did that, you got a new toolbar up here. Click on Format. You're going to take that guy, and what you want to do is wrap the text or put the text behind or in front of him. To do that, we'll go over here to Wrap Text. And we want the image, because that's what that is highlighted, to go behind the text, right? Sometimes when you click that, the picture will pop up there automatically and it will go right behind the text. If that doesn't happen, just slide them up there. Keep sliding. Keep sliding until he's sort of where you want him on the page. Not bad. Okay. Remember, you're only going to be working with one page. So if I click down here and hit delete a few times, I'll have that on there. Now you can play with the text and things like that. You definitely want the text to show in front of the picture. If the picture is still too dark, and for most of you it will be, click on it to select it again. Come back to your formatting tools, and you'll want to play around over here in corrections or color so that you can put a lighter version of that image behind your words. I'm going to stretch him out so he fits a little bit better on the page. I also think for this, maybe my words could be a little bit bigger. Let's see if I get 16. Oh, no, it went to a second page, so I'll take that down to maybe 14, see if it'll fit. Not quite. Let's go 12. Oops. Select the text again, and I'll go 12. Yep, that worked. Okay, and I could change the font too to a bigger font or something like that. So now I have the lyrics, I have the picture. I should probably put a title up top here. Remember, titles have capital letters, and you can go ahead and bold or underline that. All right, page 2. There is a second page, but it's basically a lot of typing for you. And on the second page, you're going to be typing the entire document that I gave you, that I give out each week, that says fifth grade holiday project on it, that I give you. So you'll have a copy of that, and you'll just make your paper look exactly like that. I'm not going to do the entire thing, but a few things that I want to show you about that. Instead of typing name and date, you'll type your name. Yeah, gosh, and the date. So I'm just hitting space until I come over a little bit. You can see I'm still on center justify. If you send that alignment back left and then just space over or tab will get you across even faster. And then just put, you can just put January 2015 as your date. Okay, hit enter, next line. You can see by looking at the paper that I've given you, 5th grade holiday project is larger and bolder and underlined. There's some things that you have to do to this. So you'll type 5th grade holiday project. You want to select that text because these are the rules for, oh, that should be a capital H. These are the rules for this line. It should be centered, red, bolded, it already is, size 14, and underlined. Okay, those are the directions for that. Hit enter to do the next part. Where it says grade with a line after it, you don't want this to actually be underlined the whole thing, so you have to select it and turn underline off. You also don't want it to be red. We'll put it back to black, and it should go back to size 12. Okay, the rest of it will be okay. Hit enter to go down. Now you can see objectives is aligned over on the left, so you'll click over here to send your alignment back left, and you're going to basically type the rest of this page exactly as it is. This should not have been bolded, so I'm going to unbold it by doing that. And I'm down here. Now you can see by looking at the paper from which you're supposed to copy that we have a bullet situation. You're going to do bullets for the whole rest of this list. So to do bullets, we go right here. Don't click on this part. Click on the little arrow that gives you choices and pick a bullet that you'd like to use. The choices you see up here may be different from the ones I'm using because these are some that I've used recently. You can choose any that you'd like. And the rest you do have to type exactly as it is. Where there are capitals, you type capitals. Oh. I can see that it's still set to be bold, so I'm going to turn that off. Hit enter, and it automatically will keep bolding for the rest of the page. And you can see where there are capitals on the page from which I'm typing, there are also capitals in the document that I'm typing. You'll keep going until you're done that entire page. There's one last thing to this entire project, or no, actually there are a couple more things, but the next thing that I want you to be aware of for this is you're going to put a border on the page, and when you do that, it's pretty easy and pretty fun. Come up to page layout and click on page borders. Okay. If I didn't show you during class already, click on box first. So usually you have to choose one of these 4 options. I usually pick box, and there are a lot of different border types up here that you can choose. You can pick 3 lines, or some of these get pretty neat down here. You can also choose the color of those. So if I wanted to make that purple, I could, and it would look like this on a page. Back to page borders, because there's some more fun things that you can do. I think I had this one on the sample one at which you're looking, and this one looks kind of cute when you do it in red. It looks almost like a candy cane. But down here are everybody's favorite in the art section. So if you want to click down here, you can choose some of the art ones so that your border would be made of apples, or, oh, there are all kinds of cool things in here. Lightning bolts. Looks kind of cool. So you can choose any border that you'd like. It will go on the top page and the bottom page. That's okay. All right, I think that's the end of what I want you to do and get done this week. This will be a lot of typing, so that should keep you pretty filled up. And then next week, I'll teach you the last 2 or 3 skills you need to do to finalize this document, and we should be ready to print. That's all you need to know. Good luck.